Going over to the cultural part podcast, you have Matt Walsh summarizing the list of atrocities that Democrats have committed past couple months and getting somewhat ratioed on social media. Now, again, it's brought to us thanks to, of course, Matt Walsh, hashtag the Matt Walsh blog on X. He says, quote, just to recap the past 2 months, Charlie Kirk shot in the throat on stage. Thousands of leftists spending weeks celebrating openly. Leftist militants taking to the streets, committing and calling for more violence. Attorney General candidate for Virginia expressing his desire to murder conservatives and watch their children die. Democrat voters turn out in masses to vote for him. Do you understand who your enemies are yet? Got 4.6 million views and 101,000 likes, which, yeah, it's interesting how the mainstream media, for all, I was about to say 18 idiots who watch it, there's more than that, unfortunately. But yeah, the candidate in Virginia, who, again, we have most of the data is now, won. He had text messages where he said, oh yeah, I hope my opponent's children die so that their parents would learn a lesson and they'll change their political opinion. Most evil things I ever heard of. People were saying the Republicans are so evil because, oh my gosh, they had a naughty group chat where they said pejorative jokes and slurs. At the same time, Democrats are cheering and hoping for death of their opponents. When again, what is it, like 1 or 2 assholes on the right or Libertarian Party who express those feelings? Maybe. I'm not seeing it. And yeah, it's one of those things where it's getting worse and worse out there, especially for large public figures like Matt Walsh, where the threats against them are even, I can't imagine the amount of money they have to spend on just security alone, just to make sure him and his family are safe. And yet we're not seeing any violence on the opposite side, really. Now, go to the comments. One of the first ones comes to us, thanks to Matt Van Swole, who says, quote, yes, they're the ones who swatted my family with 3 kids in their beds. These are the ones who send me emails wishing for my kids and wife to be, well, I was just say I try to keep this really family friendly, so I'll change the wording a little bit. Taking advantage of the worst possible way and killed in front of me. These are murderous, evil, vile people. I know my enemy. My enemy is those who want me dead, getting 7.2 thousand likes. We also have national conservatives saying, quote, yes, but look at the bright side. Magical white links, getting 145 likes. Pretty random. Sagicia Eternia says, quote, Matt Walsh perfectly articulates the chilling reality. This is not a political disagreement. This is an active, escalating war launched by the left. They did not just tolerate the murder of Charlie Kirk. Their militant base celebrated the political assassination. They didn't just overlook Jay Jones' fantasy about killing Republicans and their children. They voted for him in droves to be the Attorney General. The Democrat Party has become the official sponsor of political terror and malice. You're not debating liberals. You are facing an enemy that is ideologically committed to violence against you, your family. Wake up, secure your community, gain 460 likes, 61 likes. The based electrician, great to see him back in the comments, he says, quote, these people vote for candidates that wish death upon our children in hopes that they will be able to continue their murder their own preborn children. This is where this country is at, getting 43 likes. Let's see here. The conservative alternative says, quote, Democrats have embraced domestic terrorism as a political strategy. He says, quote, Stephen Miller says it best.
I would say that the mayor of all
There's a little clip of Stephen
these
Miller.
Democrat cities, like Chicago, what you are doing to your own citizens is evil. Subjecting your own citizens to this constant bloodbath and then rejoicing in it is evil. And you should praise God every single day that President Trump is in the White House. The Democrat Party does not fight for, care about, or represent American citizens. It is an entity devoted exclusively to the defense of hardened criminals, gangbangers, and illegal alien terrorists. The Democrat Party is not a political party. It is a domestic extremist organization. Look at Chicago. They've shut down the police department. They've handcuffed law enforcement. And as President Trump says, they have turned the streets of Chicago into a bloody killing field. Here in Washington.
Yep. I mean, when I grew up in the Midwest, Chicago was called Chirac because more people were dying in Chicago than our soldiers were in Iraq. That's how messed up Chicago is. I should clarify. I was about to say is. Yeah, past tense, present, all the tenses. Because again, Chicago, it's one of those things where all the laws that Democrats want, mostly on a federal level, are already enacted in many local levels, especially in the city, or as I pejoratively pronounce it, shitty of Chicago. One of them being, well, gun control. Which, again, I was about to say I'm a Texan, obviously, but American, very much pro-Second Amendment. Chicago has so much red tape, you can't even buy ammunition without a license. It's one of 2 states where you need that, which I would argue is warrant, as well as unconstitutional. They have some of the most stringent gun regulation in the United States. I mean, the law-abiding citizens are basically disarmed in that terrible place. And not only can you not own a variety of firearms, but you have I think it was a 7-day waiting period still if you want to buy one. It's an instance where all the bad guys, they're killing each other left and right, and innocent people are dying. It's been that way for about 100 years in Chicago. Maybe it's a little dark humor. I joke sometimes and say Chicago will be a great safe city as soon as they win a Super Bowl. Worst ball joke, because also the Chicago Bears are known for their defense. And the cliche thing they would say in the Midwest is, oh, the Chicago Bears will be good next year. Which, spoiler alert, in a couple decades, no, they have not. Just like they have not attracted major businesses to move there past couple decades, or people to move there. But again, back to Stephen Miller.
D.C., before President Trump launched the federal law enforcement liberation in D.C., there was a murder on the streets of this town every other day. Body after body after body after body. That was Washington, D.C. Residents were afraid to go to restaurants. They were afraid to go into entire neighborhoods. They were getting carjacked right and left, robbed and beaten. That was Washington, D.C. Now we're 2 weeks homicide free, the safest the city has ever been in its entire history.
Yep.
And the Democrats, instead of jumping up and down and saying, thank you, President Trump, thank you for saving our lives, thank you for saving our cities, instead of thanking him for that, they're saying, President Trump, how dare you save our lives? How dare you save our children? How dare you save our city? The Democrat Party, Sean, that exists today, it disgusts me.
Yep, and that got 317 likes. Someone by the name of Leonard B. Drager says, this is the enemy. It's Ben Shapiro dressed up as the bunny from A Christmas Story, getting 933 likes. Yeah, Viral Architect has a Photoshop of, well, it's Zeruska, who was killed on the public transit, only she's been replaced with Statue of Liberty, and Zoran with a knife is behind her, getting 116 likes. Well, it's got 829 likes. This is from Ryan Vaughn. It's a comic of a gal with a t-shirt that says vote blue no matter who, and she says defund the police, Black Lives Matter, and a black guy in a hoodie goes up and punches her in the face, getting 829 likes. You also have Boyce saying, when men stop believing in God, they don't believe in nothing. They don't believe in nothing. They believe in anything, which is a quote from C.G. Chesterton, which grammatically speaking also double negative, but nevertheless got 543 likes. Scrolling down more and more. Kim says, you can thank liberal women for this. Here's a screenshot of her quoting OSZ, known as Open Source Zone on Twitter, who says, CNN Virginia Attorney General exit poll by gender. Men voted for Myers at 58%, Jones at 40%. Women voted for Jones at 55%, and Myers at 43%. That got 593 likes. Artosis says, this is all the anti-immigration... if this is all the anti-immigration party can do, then you truly deserve to lose. Getting 333 likes. I Love American News says communism has arrived in America. And let's see, David Beckham and his wife being interviewed, parody, but the wife's been changed out for Kamala Harris. It says, I want equality or equity. David Beckham goes, be honest. She goes, I want equal outcomes for all. He goes, be honest. She goes, I want communism. He goes, thank you. Getting 297 likes. Dr. Ashley says the Democrat Party is America's Hamas, getting 208 likes. It's got 3.7 thousand likes from Dissident West, who says, quote, your boss is also a key figure in this defeat. Without guys like Shapiro attacking Tucker Carlson and everyone to the right of him, we wouldn't be so divided right now. That's an undeniable fact. Again, getting 3.7 thousand likes. Was he ratioed? No. Well, I know I lost that there. Oh, there you go. Skip down a couple frames there. I'm trying to see if there's any more contrarian statements. Not too much. Yeah, Special Officer Doofy said maybe if the GOP were for us instead of Israel, more people would have shown up to support him, getting 424 likes. Detroit Lava says your boss thinks our enemies are Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes, and he can't go to a war and can't wait to go to a war with Iran. It looks like a tweet from Ben Shapiro in 2014 in which Ben Shapiro said, quote, Alicia Cross wins with his comment on Jesus, hands up, don't shoot pose. It should be hands up, don't nail. Ben got 429 likes, and then this repost got 236 likes. Let's see. Gabe says, Seth Dillon and your buddies, Ben Shapiro and Andrew Klavan, still think the bigger problem is Tucker Carlson, getting 348 likes. Which I think a lot of these comments are emblematic or kind of a preview of what's going to happen in the midterms, which I think Republicans are becoming more and more divided over the big topic of how much aid and how much support do we give to Israel and their support with our politics. I think that's going to fracture the party completely, and Democrats are going to win in a wave during the midterms. Again, Democrats, I mean, to their credit, they're very strategic. They're very united. Republicans, a lot of them are like chickens with their head cut off. A lot of them are also rhinos, pejoratively known as Republicans in name only. And yeah, I can't but think that it's going to fracture the group more and more. But let me know your thoughts, because as always, be fascinated to hear what you have to say. Thank you, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Again, try to get 6,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so click that button. I greatly appreciate it. Also, give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, and comment. It's a great way to give me some additional feedback. Let me know how I can make the show better and better. Lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone, everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.